This is spooky time. Welcome to Thillythally's spooky episode. Welcome. Today's episode, we're gonna get a little creepy. Because we like to get weird, so now we're gonna get a little creepy. Remember when The Simpsons threw on the Halloween episodes? Just like that. Except for it's you and me and, oh God, the wife. So, welcome. Today's story, we're going to start with the butterfly people. Bum bum bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my God.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I'm blinded. Oh, that's good.
The flashlight was my idea, and it was a bad one.
I like it.
It's always spookier in the dark.
Like when you're telling ghost stories when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Like at a sleepover.
Yeah, like
We're
a
just
sleepover.
having one big sleepover.
Thanks for coming to the sleepover with you.
Yeah.
and laughing.
And I don't even care that you didn't want to come.
Yeah. No, they want to come.
You definitely wanted to come.
Thanks for joining the sleepover party. We're going to tell some scary stories. All right, the first off is the butterfly people of Joplin. On May 22nd, 2011, a dead of same tornado hit the town of Joplin, Missouri, completely leveling the buildings and taking the lives of about 158 to 161 people. That, you know how many people like pass away during tornadoes? Like usually you hear like maybe 2 or 3 or 4. No, that was 160. It took away a third of the town. To those that survived, mainly children of Save the Kids, the families would share stories about humanoid creatures nicknamed the butterfly people. While many children shared their story, one recurrent element is that they were in the brink of death. The butterfly people would manifest before them, protecting them from the falling debris of the tornado. Some children are credited seeing the butterfly people carrying off those close to death up to heaven.
Very spooky.
Spooky.
Because children are very light to not be carried off in a tornado like that, but the adults were. It's pretty wild. Considering if you're going 70 down a highway, for instance, and you stick your hand out the window, your arm kind of gets taken in the wind a little bit, and that's just at 70 miles per hour.
That's 70 miles per hour. So humans will actually gain lift at near 100 miles per hour over, and that's an adult, a grown adult. We're talking about someone that weighs a third that, just about. This was a Category 5 tornado, and it's not just any tornado. That's you actually can't get stronger tornadoes, and had 200 mile per hour winds, 200 miles per hour. So these children are somehow not flying away while the adults are flying away into the storm, and that's due to the butterfly people. Most of the stories had common elements. The tornado hit their home. The parents were usually praying. The roof was ripped off. The children would see butterfly people descend from the sky. So imagine your roof gets freaking, you got grandma praying in the corner because 200 mile per hour winds. You're freaking, the top gets flung off your house. And now a butterfly person flies down to you with rainbow wings and then covers you from the debris.
Another thing I would like to point out is there are several different children that made these drawings for people to talk about these things that they were seeing. All different children without having any connection to one another.
No connection. Different families. They were not related. They were like of different ethnicities. It's just weird. It's creepy.
They all drew the same picture.
All of them. Just about. We'll go more.
Not an identical picture either, like they were all copying the same image. We're drawing different images of the same thing.
And they're all near death. They're all near the brink of death. That was the common thing, is everyone was about to die. These creatures, which are the butterfly people or humanoids, would come down and save them with their wings. Todd C. Franco wrote a newspaper article from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. He described former newspaper reporter Marta Churchwells. Thank you, Marta Churchwells, for making this happen. And she conducted an investigation.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Good job, Martha. Good job, Martha. And she conducted.
Hell yeah, Martha.
Hell yeah, Martha. Well, not hell yeah. Heaven yeah.
Heaven yeah, Martha.
Heaven yeah, Martha. Investigation and interviews with the surviving children. Marta is skeptic. Martha's non-religious. She doesn't believe in like angels or demons or nothing like that.
Nothing cool.
Nothing. Yeah, she's just plain old Jane.
Only her name's Martha.
Plain old Martha.
Yeah.
Martha. Okay. She's skeptic. She didn't believe in angels. After numerous interviews, however, she couldn't disprove it. There's so many children saying that these butterfly people are coming down and saving them that she could no longer disprove that they weren't angels. It seemed more credible to believe it rather than to disbelieve it, just because you had so many affidavits of it. After the destruction, a mural artist visited Joplin attending a town meeting in which he found hundreds of volunteers, a majority of them being kids, who drew several pictures depicting the butterfly people, which are right here. And they all saw the same thing, every single one of them. So there are two conclusions. Either they are so stressed and horrible, the situation's just awful, everyone's dying, that they had mass hysteria within all the children. I don't know about you, but kids are pretty truthful, you know? Like, they go through horrible situations and like, of course they're terrified, but they aren't gonna tell you what isn't happened, you know? They're just gonna usually get straight to the point.
I feel like if they also had mass hysteria where they are like traumatized to the point where they're like coming up, like their brains are like almost making them believe a different reality, it's all the same thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same story over and over, you know? They'd come up with different things, definitely.
They would have different stories.
They'd all have different stories.
It would be unique to the individual,
completely.
not the same thing.
No. And that's what makes it weird. Really weird. Skeptics were saying that the butterfly people were normal people with their flesh torn from their backs and their organs hanging out. I find that very hard to believe that person's gonna fall down through your house and then cover you in their fleshy organ wings and save you from a storm. Because let's be honest, once you're flying in that tornado, it's not like you have the ability to navigate it. I feel like, you know, you'd have to be a pretty, maybe 400-pound man or something like that. Maybe he could navigate it, you know, just swinging around in there. He's just like, he's got a little motorbike. Okay. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense physically. Also, you can't find any of the survivors online, no matter how hard I freaking looked. I can't find any of them, which just doesn't make any sense to me. So the butterfly people were either all at the same time, just these random kids that didn't know each other just said, yeah, those were butterfly people. Not like, you know, like Captain America came and saved them or something like that. Like, I guarantee some kid would say a superhero came, you know, if there are, like, if it was mass hysteria or something like that. But no, then the other one thing would be angels came, or whatever. Insane story. It's real. It was in 2011. That's not like 1950 or, you know, like 1800s or something like that, where you'd be like, oh, wow, that's kind of a weird story, they didn't have that. That was within our lifetime. Like, these people are walking around, and if you do find a Joplin survivor, I guess give them a hug dressed up as a butterfly and see what happens.
That would be terrifying.
No, that'd be absolutely terrifying. They'd probably hate you. They'd probably just like traumatic event, and then they just like go in a shell. They said that the butterfly people had white robes, rainbow wings, and golden or caramel hair. The same thing happened during 9/11. Some of the survivors said that when the tower was falling, that the same creatures came to them, protected them from debris. So, think what you will, what you think. Butterfly people are a mystery, and they're a little interesting. Now we have more stories for you. Okay. Good. This is good light. This is good light. Alrighty. So now the tables have turned, and the turned have tables.
The black-eyed children.
Black eyes.
The black-eyed children, aka Becks, because it's much faster to say and a little less creepy than black-eyed children. A modern urban legend involving pale and unearthly children with solid pitch black eyes being their defining trait.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't.
That's very creepy, very unsettling.
Pitch black eyes.
Pretty much hate it. Yeah, like pitch
like
black
this?
eyes. Like like that.
Like that.
But like creepier.
Whoa.
These encounters consist of said children showing up at your doorstep or parked car, persistently asking and even begging to be let in or for rides. Those who have reported these unnerving encounters have described them to give an intense, unnatural feeling of dread. The encounter that originally sparked this legend was back in the late 90s when Texas reporter Brian Bethel posted an online account where two young boys approached his car at a movie theater parking lot. Since then, it has blown up to some degree on the internet, with hundreds of similar stories circulating on paranormal forums, with witnesses. Sorry, I like to put them in quotation.
Quotation.
With witnesses reporting the following: the approach.
Oh, very important.
This is the part where the kids basically come to your door. So the approach is children. There could be multiple. It could be one. Unexpectedly, completely random. Approach your doorstep or your parked car.
So anytime a child approaches my parked car or anything at night, I'm gonna be like, dude, where the heck is your parents? What are you doing out here? You know?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You need some
Go
Cheerios?
home.
You just throw Cheerios at them? You know, just leave. Find your parent.
The approach. Children typically age 6 to 16.
I'm so young, and teenagers.
Approaching unexpectedly, sometimes in outdated or even weather inappropriate clothing. So sometimes they appear in clothes from a different decade, different century.
Like somebody might be coming in clothes from like the 20s, you know, like 1920s, dressed up all nice. And they're like, can I have some more, sir? Except for some more is letting you into your house.
The pitch. Polite but extremely persistent requests to use a phone, get a ride, or enter a home. Eyes. Completely black pupils and irises without any sclera, meaning that their eyes are completely black, lacking any white part. So the parts of your eyes that are white, they do not have.
Oh God.
The entire
just all pitch black.
orb of their eye is black.
And they're persistent, like that guy at the bar that just never gives up. But you know he's not getting it. Persistent.
Exactly. So be like the girl at the bar and just don't let him in.
Yeah, don't let him in. Because if you let them in, that's it's part of the pitch.
The barrier. They very rarely attempt to physically force themselves into a home or vehicle, often emphasizing that they must be invited. Obviously, the internet loves to take the smallest of things and run with them.
You need consent.
Yeah, blowing them out of proportion and making it their own, essentially. We love a good creepypasta. The internet likes to take it and just make it 10 times what it is.
Yeah.
So
roll with it.
Yeah. That's why, like, somebody posts a story, like this Brian Bethel. People found it, thought it was cool, took it, and started making their own stories with it, essentially, on the internet. But that happens with everything.
Or they're real stories.
However, we have the same likelihood of proving it to be false as believers do proving it to be true.
I mean, irregardless, if a kid shows up at your doorstep and it just wants to be let in with pure black eyes, don't let them in. Please do not let them in. For me, do it for me, and for grandma, because they'll eat grandma. Probably,
yeah,
right?
Sacrifice your grandma.
Yes, yeah, sacrifice. Grandma, no!
Believers often speculate that the entities are aliens, vampires, or demonic spirits in disguise. So there's a bunch of different theories of what these black-eyed children are. Some people do think they're aliens just because of how unearthly they seem.
I will say one thing about aliens. So aliens love probing, right? That is non-consensual. They just beam you up, probe you.
That's true. So they
do
can't.
what they want. So they're not aliens.
They don't like to ask to come in.
Yeah, they won't ask to come in. They'll zoop you up like the cow, and then,
right in the butt.
Yeah, right, pow, right in the kisser.
Pow, right in the
right in the kisser. Right in the good old glory sock.
Unfortunately.
A tongue punch your fart box before you know what your fart box is. So, what needs consent usually?
Vampires.
And demons.
Yes.
Just like a crossroads demon, you gotta make that deal. If you don't say you can't come in, then they can't come in. The thing is, they're sneaky. They aren't gonna be aggressive about it. They're gonna be like, I just need to use your phone. Or, I'm really hungry. Do you got anything in the fridge? I don't know where my mom is. Or, there's a guy from Jeffrey Epstein Island, and he's been chasing me for miles. Can you please save me? If you see a kid with black eyes, I don't care what happens, you don't let that little sucker in.
Don't listen to him.
Close the door on him, and you say, bye, demons. We ain't got none of that. Got none for you. But these nuts. But don't say that, because they'll consider that consent, and they'll come in.
If I open the door and I see a child with black eyes, that child is about to meet the business end of a 12 gauge.
And that's not the fun end. Which
no, that's why it's called the business end.
I don't think there's any fun end of 12 gauge. Like, you hit
depends on the position you're in.
Or what you're into.
Anyways, on to the next one.
So, don't let the black-eyed peas in your house.
Yes.
Black-eyed peas being... the actual black-eyed peas, too. Don't let them in your house, too. Like, they show up at your door. I'd be very concerned. Why would they be at my door? They're famous.
That would be very strange.
So, you kick the black-eyed kid in the face. Yeah. Give him a good old uppercut, and send him home. And now, on to the next spooky. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a fire alarm. I'm so confused. Alrighty, on to the next.
These aren't creepypastas, but...
No, they aren't. But on to the next noodle, the weird noodle.
The noodle doodle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna doodle you.
You're gonna doodle my poodle.
I'm gonna doodle your fart box.
Oh, just like the black-eyed children would if you open the door. So don't open the door. Keep that door shut. You know, like do what they do. Sacrifice a lamb. Put some of that lamb's blood on there.
I do
Nice and
not
safe.
like the idea of that at all. It's making me unsettled,
Like
to be honest.
I know the butterfly people, like, that's saving you. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm freaked out a little bit, to be honest.
I don't like the idea of it. Like, if something knocks at the door right now, I'm not opening it. I'll be honest.
If something knocks on the door right now, I'm shit my pants. Don't, no.
I'm just kidding.
I'm turning every light on in the don't you dare. I will turn on every light in this house, besides the flashlight.
Yeah. We'll turn the flashlight off though if all the lights are on, because that just doesn't make sense, you know. Gotta conserve energy.
Yes.
All right, this next one's this is more of a mystery. It's a little creepy. Actually, yeah, it's pretty creepy.
This one actually really, really intrigues me because during like the World War like era, science got very strange.
It got weird. It got because of the Nazi Germany and everything got like a little futuristic. Because, like, let's be honest, it was a horrible time. You know, like there's too much going on. They got all these experimental weapons. Like, you had like the vortex cannon made by the freaking Nazis. Like, look that up if you want to know what that is. That's just some weird stuff. And they got like ray guns and stuff like that. Either way.
They also, like, the reason that time was so weird is there weren't really any limits to what they were trying to explore. So there's reports of the Nazis being in Antarctica. They have
Same as the Soviets.
Working on just
Who
weaponry.
knows what they
essentially.
were
They
working
do whatever
on?
they wanted. It's Antarctica.
Yeah.
There's no way we could go there and see what they were doing. It's Antarctica.
Yeah.
But they also, during this time, they were dipping into UFOs. They were dipping into all kinds of unexplainable things.
And that's when the Project Manhattan, happened. We developed the atom bomb.
Yes, just unexplained phenomena, paranormal things. They were dipping into like certain weird things with energy.
It was a very experimental phase. I mean, that's why we literally had modern medicines from that horrible time. And I won't go into why, but because we all know why.
Yeah.
All right. So this is
you can find that on the internet also.
You can find out why on there. This is the Philadelphia experiment. Bum 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 bum. I just blinded both of them. I think I gave myself a seizure. Okay. So the Philadelphia experiment, also known as Operation Ghost. Alright, Operation Ghost was an alleged naval experiment in Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in 1943. So the Army is, the Navy or Army or all the military, we're having a world war, so like we want to win it. We're going through all this experimental type of ploys and whatnot to try to get ahead of the Nazis and whatever, because they've got all their crazy scientists and whatnot. So a key thing at that time were the submarines. Submarines were detrimental. They would destroy about any other naval ship, and you couldn't do anything if you got on the radar. So they wanted to create something that would allow them to cloak themselves. The USS Elbridge, a destroyer-class ship, so a destroyer, was thought to be the subject of an experiment involving force fields. They were attempting to make military naval vessels invisible. Now, I don't know if they were trying to make it invisible to radar, or they were actually trying to make it invisible.
Physically.
Like physically invisible. But this is essentially what happened during the experiment, which is the government probably would disprove want
This
you
is-
not to say this is real.
This is one of the things, or just a lot of weird things that you'll hear about happen during this time. They'll tell you, "Oh, don't worry about it. We debunked
Yeah,
it."
you debunked
Don't
that.
worry.
That's a hoax. That
This
isn't
person
real.
admitted that it was a hoax.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, you would admit that something is
Dude,
a hoax.
you know what?
When
That
your
guy's
life is on the
crazy.
line.
That guy's crazy. As they're shoving like a 1911 into the guy's skull, and he's saying, "Yeah, that ain't real." So, they're attempting to make naval vessels invisible. Witnesses of the event claim that the ship turned completely invisible for several minutes. They had all these advanced electrical equipment on this naval vessel. Like, you're talking about lots of power, lots of experimental like instruments. This giant green flash happens, right? And then it's reported that the ship was physically teleported to Norfolk, Virginia. So it became invisible, completely gone to the naked eye. It's in Philadelphia right now. And then it goes to Norfolk, Virginia, where they find the USS Elbridge, a destroyer, off the shores from it. So like that just doesn't make any sense. You know, like how did that happen? Before it reappeared in Philadelphia. So it comes back to Philadelphia several minutes later. Like, you're not talking like a long time, you're talking several minutes. So this thing, giant green flash or whatever, it's powered up, goes to Norfolk, Virginia, then bam, it comes back. All right. So this is the Philadelphia experiment. So when it reappeared in Philadelphia, the crew were subjected to a living nightmare. This is when it gets really weird. Most of them suffered from nausea or illness. Some of them rewoke and they were insane. Their minds were boggled. They were told them mashed potatoes, they're doing weird things. But the weirdest thing about it is that some of the individuals were fused to the ship, becoming one with the ship. And we have actual pictures from that, which I will show you right now. Isn't that fucked up?
These
That
pictures.
just ain't right. Witnesses that found them also described the crewmates fused together in a flesh pile. Some were able to walk through walls. We're talking about like this is a real affidavit. This is just insane. Also, the whole crew is dead months later. All of them died, either through illness or whatever. It's kind of like the mummies in like your pyramid. And you open King Tut's hut or King Tut's tomb or whatever, and then like months later everybody's just dead. You know, it's like one of those things. So like imagine like actual members of the crew being one with the ship, fused into the metal. You're talking limbs and appendages coming out of the ship. The reason we know is Morris K. Jessup wrote a book describing the event based off of Carl Allen's affidavit. He was a merchant and mariner at the time. He witnessed the experiment. It was later called a hoax. So, of course it was called a hoax. Because this is not something the U.S. government or any type of government would want you to know. Because it's just insane, you know? Like, something teleports a giant destroyer one place to another, and then it comes back, and the crew is literally fused into it, inside of it. They say it's a giant hoax. So the weird thing is 4 years later, so Morris K. Jessup, he makes this book in 1955 because of, from Allen's remarks, right? Or Carl Allen's remarks. And his affidavit from it, because he's sending him notes. So he makes this book in 1955. 4 years later, Morris K. Jessup committed suicide. He apparently killed himself after writing this book, right? Who else do we know that killed himself? Jeffrey Epstein. And we all know that he didn't do that. Morris K. Jessup, as an accomplished writer, was spoken to have no intentions to do so. His death was taken as a shock. Of course it was. People didn't do that, you know, back in the old days as much. That was very, he lived a nice life. There was no reason for him to, like, have any, like, intentions to do that whatsoever. But he magically popped up dead after writing this book. That's now a hoax. So we have a few conclusions maybe, or, like, hypotheses. So, like, Albert Einstein was rumored to be an informant years prior, so it's thought that the U.S. Navy was attempting to mimic his theories. They were taking from Albert Einstein his theory of relativity and his other theories, and they're attempting to make this giant force field or cloaks to make this ship invisible or whatever with advanced tech at the time, in order to make the vessel invisible during World War II. Einstein, however, was a pacifist and also considered a spy at the time. He was thought to think of the theories and the hypothesis, but they say that he didn't work on it. Did he or didn't he? I don't know. I really don't know. Because he was the one that wrote a letter to Roosevelt stating the Nazis may be capable of creating dead spider now. Sorry, Peter. He was the one that wrote a letter to Roosevelt stating the Nazis may be capable of creating a bomb through fission using uranium, which is nuclear fission, which is what? The atom bomb or whatever. So he was saying that the Nazis might be capable of making this atom bomb, right? Or whatever. This actually sparked Project Manhattan. So Albert Einstein was a pacifist. He didn't want this to come to be. Franklin Roosevelt was like, oh my gosh, they got what? And then we jump-started the Manhattan Project, stole a bunch of their scientists, which supposedly wasn't Albert Einstein, which I guess it wasn't. And then that's when we made the atom bomb. So 1943, relatively close to that time when we were experimenting with all these weird things. So here's the weird thing. This is where I get a little weird into it. I think that they accidentally messed with quantum entanglement. So quantum entanglement is a phenomenon in which quantum physics where two or more particles become linked. The physical state at one particle instantly dictates the state of the other, regardless of the distance between them. Just like how the Philadelphia experiment, the USS Eldridge, teleported to Norfolk, Virginia, just randomly, and then teleported back. So I think they unintentionally mixed with quantum entanglement. It doesn't make sense because it's on such like a big thing with so many people, but that's where this comes in. Einstein described it as a spooky action at a distance. Einstein didn't like it because his theory disproved all his theories, quantum physics and quantum entanglement. It was just a weird interaction. So say everything has its doppelganger, right? So like we have doppelganger, sure. An atom has a doppelganger. It could be 5 feet away. It could be all the way on the other side of the world, but it's the same thing. So quantum entanglement is when you would take, or quantum teleportation is when you would take this object and instantly move to the other object, and then it will destroy the original object because only one of them can exist at the same time, which is weird because you have a doppelganger. So it's a little confusing. The no cloning theorem states that quantum particles can exist in a superposition of states, meaning they hold multiple probabilities at once. Multiple probabilities at once. Do you know what that means? That means when that ship went back there, a multiple probability was that the crew was fused into the ship. That was another probability that could happen. So it kind of makes sense in like a weird way, but I don't think that they meant to do what they did, and I definitely think that they're covering up. And it was during the Cold War when all that weird stuff was happening. So the Philadelphia experiment is just a weird experiment that's been disproven because it's a hoax. But was it a hoax? Was it? Was it really? Really? Was it a hoax? Oh, that's spooky with you. We're getting spooky today. And thank you for coming to Spooky Time. We'll have more of these if you want them. Anything you want, beautiful viewers, because it's coming to you. It's coming hot. It's coming action. It's coming spooky. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. Thank you for coming to the show. You're all beautiful people. Like and subscribe. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Freedom, democracy,
Comment down below.
Comment down below. See what you feel. If you want more spooky episodes, we'll get more and more mysteries. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.